of our subject social science. In this session, we are going to continue our chapter 15, Equality in Democracy. Already I have shared one video of this chapter with you in which we have understood many things. Like we have understood how the equality is having its importance in democracy, how there is equality in any democratic country like our India. As it is a democratic country, we have got the right to equality. Also, I have given you some examples through which we can now differentiate between what is equality and what is inequality, so that we can take a stand whenever any wrong is done with us. Now, let's proceed with our next topic of the chapter, equality in suffrage. Equality in suffrage means how we have got the equality in suffrage. Suffrage, I am telling you other than this word means when we are allowed to cast our vote, when we have been given the right to vote in any decision making process. That is called suffrage. Now let's see what is written. In the democratic government, the people elect their own representatives with the help of voting or elections. This line I hope you are aware. In any democratic country, in any democratic government, what is the main important thing? That how the government is formed. Here in the democracy, the government is formed when the people elect their own representatives. That means when the people are going to select their own leaders with the help of voting or elections. There is a voting, elections or voting is held, and in which the people are going to cast their vote to whom they think that person will lead us properly. So this thing is there in the democracy only. In monarchy it is not there. We have not got any right in monarchy. In the monarchy, king is there and that person is only going to make the decisions. But here in the democratic government, the most important power is given to the people, that is to cast their vote, to vote in the decision making, and to vote in forming the government. The elected representatives will form the government. Now afterwards, when the elections are completed, with the help of the majority of votes, that is decided that who has won the election. It means who is going to be the representative, leader kaun banega. That persons together, they are going to form the government. This is the system of the democratic government. Democratic government is formed by the vote of the people. Now how the democratic government is formed? When the people will vote, when the people have got the supreme power. Yes, this is called supreme power. When you are allowed to vote, that is the supreme power. Now I hope these points are clear, that in any democracy or in any democratic country, people have got the right to vote. But do all the citizens have right to vote? What is the criteria? There has to be certain conditions. Everyone should not get the right to vote. Do any child votes? Let's see. Okay. Now in our democratic country India, here there are some rules that how we have got the right to vote. In our country, the citizens of or above the 18 years, yes, of or above the 18 years, they are allowed to vote in spite of their religion, in spite of their caste, in spite of their economic background, their dialect, language, etc., etc. All are equal. But the condition is they must be of 18 years or above 18 years. This thing is called universal adult franchise or universal adult suffrage. Yes, it is the same meaning. When we are getting the right to vote and we are getting the equality in right to vote, that means we are having universal adult franchise or universal adult suffrage. All the citizens who are above or of 18 years, their name is registered in the electoral roll. Yes, their name is registered in the electoral roll. That means you are now allowed to vote after your name is registered in there and you are getting your ID. For example, when you are coming to school, we have a register and in that register your name is there. That means you are now studying in grade 7. Same way, citizens who are above 18 years or 18 years, their name is listed in that register and then after you are allowed to vote. Now, here something else is also there in our country. We have election commission. Election commission, in simple words, is a group of organization which is helping us to organize these all elections to handle all the election related matters. What they are doing? Voters are made aware of not to vote under fear, threat or intimidation. The first point is, which you should understand properly. Earlier, the voters, they were having a fear. उनको एक डर लगता था. They were having threat. उनको धमकी मिलती थी. उनको कोई ऐसी वोट उनसे खरीद लेता था. धमकी से उनके वोट ले लेता था. Now it is the work of election commission to look after that all the voters are made aware of not to vote in any fear. It is their duty to make this people aware कि आपको किसी डर के मारे वोट नहीं करना है या किसी धमकी की वजह से वोट नहीं करना है. Election Commission, this is a short form. Election Commission makes arrangements to explain the importance of voting and make sure that voting takes place without any fear. Now this is the work of Election Commission to make all the arrangements that voting is conducted in a proper manner, and it is their work to explain the importance of voting to all the citizens of our country. It also makes sure that voting takes place without any fear. किसी भी डर के मारे voting नहीं हो रहा हो. It conducts election impartially and in a fair manner. So it is the duty of Election Commission that it is going to conduct the election without being partial or biased towards any political party and in a fair manner. There are special polling booths for women. Now also there are some facilities which are provided by the Election Commission to the women. There are special polling booths are arranged, and also special facilities are provided for differently abled persons so that they can also come and vote. They are disabled, we know, but their mind is proper, so they are able to think and vote according to their choice. So that's all about our topic, equality in suffrage. I hope you understood properly. Coming to the next topic. To our next topic, child labor. Child labor means when you are employing a child to do some job. That means first of all, in our constitution we have got the rights that everyone is equal. In our constitutions there are so much provisions to remove the inequality and treat every person equal. But despite of doing this, we are facing so much inequalities in real life. Now child labor is one such inequality which we have in our country. When you are asking any child to do a job, that means you are taking his or her right to education which the government has given, which the constitution has given. Yes, our constitution has given the right to education to every citizen, to every children, to every child. Children from the age 6 to 14 years have a right to free, compulsory and universal education. As I have told you, in our country, in our constitution, there is a law that every child from the age 6 to 14 years have free, compulsory and universal education. उनके पास right है कि उनको free education मिले, compulsory education मिले and universal education मिले. This means there are some children in our country who belongs to the poor family. So to improve their status, government is making such policies like the right to get education is one among them. Government is providing them free education, compulsory and universal education, and in the school, this thing happens in the government school where the children are studying freely. They are getting so much things like the books they are getting, the uniforms they are getting. Government is giving these facilities to the children because there are some families who are poor. So if the children of that family, they will get education, at least they can do a job and they can earn a living for their family. So government is helping the children, and why not? Children are the future of the country and the government should help them. So, but here is an inequality which is child labor, which becomes the barrier in this. Yes, वो रुकावट बन जाता है. Child labor is a crime. It is considered as a crime if children work at the age when they have to go to school. When the age of the children from the age 6 to 14 is the age, that means you have to go to school. But at this age, when you are employing some child for doing some work, it is considered as a crime. It is a violation of law to employ children for any work under the age of 14 years. If any children under age of 14 years is found working anywhere, that means it is a violation of law. मतलब एक law टूट रहा है. Earlier in our country, the girls' child, they were not allowed to go to school because the parents were not, investing in the education of that girl child. They were thinking that we are going to just invest on our son. Girl do not need that education. But that scenario has changed when government has given the free education. जब free education government ने दिया, तब ये scenario change हो गया. Now the girls are also taking the education. And still in the modern times, we have seen there are a lot of girls who are not allowed to get the higher education. Yes, higher education, that means the education which you are getting after 14 years, that means when you are going to college. Girls are not allowed to go to college. The parents are thinking that their school is enough. So the government is making laws for that also, as the higher education, if you want to get, the girl child will get some reduction in the fees. So these all are the laws which are helping the children to get educated. But the child labor, it should be removed. It is injustice to the children. It is an inequality. Now the next topic is labor and remuneration. Labor means the work which we are doing, and remuneration means the money which we are paid for that work. Man and woman doing the same work are discriminated in paying wages. That means if you are employing man and a woman, and if you are telling them to do the same job, but you are discriminating in between them in paying the salary. When you are paying the salary, you are paying different salary to man and different to woman. Means yes, low to women and more to men. Why is this inequality? Whether you are a girl or a boy or a man or a woman, why this inequality is there? This is showing us the injustice which is here in our country. Another thing is also there. Children and differently abled persons are employed to pay less. Now the children, anyone who is employing, who is giving the job to the children and differently abled person, they are employing them because they want to pay less to them. Yes, for the same work, if they are employing any other person, they are going to pay more. But by intentionally, they are employing these children and differently abled person or women so that they can pay less money to them. Number of schemes are implemented by the government to train and make them self-reliant so that they are not exploited. So to make this thing equal, our government has some rules. Our government is launching some schemes. They are making such policies which are helping the differently able persons or women. They are training them and they are making them self-reliant, means self-independent बनाते हैं उनको, so that they can differentiate between what is right and what is wrong, and they are not exploited अगर उनके साथ कभी फिर दूसरी बार बेईमानी नहीं हो. It is our duty to cooperate with the differently able persons. This is injustice. Now, when you are in front of any differently abled person, you should always cooperate with them. You should respect them. But here, something different is happening. Opposite is happening. So, this is totally the example of injustice, the example of inequality which we are having in our country. But then also, our government has such rules which are going to help in removing this inequality and injustice. Now that's all about this topic. Coming to the last topic. The last topic of our chapter is inequality, a challenge. Inequality actually is a challenge for any democratic country because in front of us in our daily life we are observing so much inequalities. We are going to understand this with the help of a story. Once there was a village, a small village. In that village only two water wells were there. Only two wells were there. From the village people were drawing the water. They were fetching the water. The whole village drew water in two parts. So as there was two wells, village was divided into two parts, and half of the people were taking the water from one one well, and the another one they were taking from the next well. Water in one well ran out. As the time passed, one well got dry. The water inside it ran out. Half of the village faced difficulty in filling the water. That where they should go now to fill the water. Fearing that the water would run out of the well, the people of one area were not allowed to fill water from another area. So the people of that area whose well was proper, the water was there inside, they were having a fear that if we will tell the other part of the village to fill the water from this well, that might be our well also will get dry. So what to do? They didn't allow the other part of the village to fill the water from their own well. Now this is the story. Now in this story, we came to know that this type of inequality is seen in nowadays in our village or in small towns. People are not helping one another. Now this story is giving us a good example of inequality which is seen nowadays in every small town, small village, small area. But what is the effect of this inequality on the people? It creates an adverse effect on the harmonious society. Society में से harmony चली जाती है. That means when the people which were not allowed to fill the water, what they have thought that during the difficult times, our own people didn't help us. So they were, unhappy, they were sad, and they now will develop the feeling of hatred for that people. So this is removing the harmony from the society. Such things are challenge to equality. Now these things are coming as a challenge in front of us. Like in the small areas like village, if you take out a procession and if you do any personal event, personal celebrations, loudspeakers and music in the mosque or in the temples, all these small things create big controversies, create conflicts, and it results in fight. So on such occasions, what we should do? We should try to maintain peace and harmony so that we can create the feeling of equality. इस समय में हमें क्या करना चाहिए? पीस और हार्मनी मेंटेन करनी चाहिए, समझना चाहिए, शांति रखनी चाहिए, so that equality की फीलिंग सबके अंदर आए. Great efforts are made by the government to maintain harmony in the society. Government in its own way is doing such things which are helping to maintain harmony in the society. Our constitution has given equal rights to every society and individuals. Here the constitution is providing equal rights to all the group, all the persons, whether they belong to any religion, any caste, any languages they speak or dialect they speak, or any different economical background. But all the persons are equal in front of the law. Just the thing is, we must be aware about it and we should use our rights properly. So that's all about this chapter. In this chapter, we have understood many things about equality. I hope the topics are clear. In the next session, I will meet you with the new chapter. Till then, keep learning. Thank you. Have a nice day.